Welcome to the course Formal Languages and Automata Theory. In this lecture, we are going to discuss about finite automata with epsilon transitions. Coming to the outline of today's lecture, finite automata with epsilon transition is denoted by NFA-epsilon. In this lecture, we will discuss about uses of epsilon transitions, the formal notation for an epsilon NFA, then epsilon closures, then extended transitions and languages for epsilon NFA, then acceptance of strings and languages by epsilon NFA. Then coming to the introduction about finite automata with epsilon transitions. This can be denoted by any of the following notations. Here you can see all these notations are used to represent a finite automata with epsilon. The first one is NFA-epsilon or epsilon NFA or NFA-E or NFA-I power cap. Any of these notations represents the same meaning, that is NFA with epsilon transitions or moves, both are same. So these are all given in order to move from one state to another state without having any input symbol, that is with empty string from input alphabet sigma. This is the purpose of NFA with epsilon moves or transitions. Let us consider the following NFA with epsilon given below. In this NFA, you can observe Q0 is the start state, this is, or initial state. Then Q2 is final or accepting state. Now, if you want to find an input string starting with 1, then we can change state from Q0 to Q1 with epsilon move. And then with that input, we can be in state Q1. That is, it is not defined with an input 1 whether it will be in state Q1 or not. Hence, it is called non-deterministic finite automata. And there are some epsilon moves by which we can simply change the states from one state to another state. Hence, it is called NFA with epsilon transitions, which can be denoted by NFA-epsilon. Can we read it as NFA with epsilon moves or transitions? Here you can observe in this diagram from Q0 to Q1. Here we don't know any input. It has empty string or null. If you want start a string with 1, compulsory with the same state on input 0 we can't take. Compulsory in place of epsilon. It is null now. In future, that null is replaced by your required input. That's why compulsory we have to take the path with epsilon only. So that's why it can't determine what is the input here. That's why it is called as non-deterministic finite automaton. And there are some epsilon moves by which we can simply change states from one state to another state. That's why it is called NFA with epsilon moves or epsilon transitions. That is basically NFA with epsilon. Then also you can observe the transitions of this given NFA from state Q0 on input 0, it has next state Q0. From state Q0 without input, that is empty string epsilon, it is going to Q1. Then from state Q1 on input 1, it is going to Q1. See the diagram. Then from state Q1 without input, that is empty string or empty input, it is going to Q2. Then from state Q2 on input 2, it is going to Q2. Now in this diagram, here we have the epsilon moves or transitions between Q0 and Q1, then Q1 and Q2. So this is the NFA with epsilon moves or epsilon transitions. Even one epsilon move is there, then the NFA is called as NFA with epsilon. Then coming to formal or mathematical definition of NFA with epsilon, which is same as NFA. The difference is the NFA compulsory contains epsilon moves. Now you can see a NFA with epsilon is the same as NFA quintuple or pi-tuple denoted by M. That is M equal to Q sigma delta Q0 F, where Q is set of states or internal states, sigma is input alphabet, Q0 is initial or start state, where Q0 is in Q. That means Q0 belongs to Q. In any automata, initial or start state is only one. F is set of final or accepting states. That is F is subset of Q. This definition is same as finite automata, even NFA also. Then coming to delta, transition function or moving function or mapping function, which is mapped from Q cross sigma union epsilon to 2 power Q. So in the NFA delta, you can see the definition, which is mapping from Q cross sigma to 2 power Q. Whereas NFA with epsilon, you can see along with input, it includes the transitions with empty string or null string, that is epsilon. That's why this can be written as sigma union epsilon derives 2 power Q. The right hand side is same as NFA. The left hand side, in place of sigma, it takes empty string also. This is the difference between NFA with epsilon and without epsilon. And where 2 power Q is power set of Q, the set of all states of Q. The intention is that delta of Q comma A will consist of all states P such that there is a transition labeled an input symbol A from Q to P, where A is either epsilon or a symbol in sigma. That means the transition is either an input symbol from sigma or an empty string, that is epsilon or lambda. So that is the delta definition of NFA with epsilon. Then coming to properties of NFA with epsilon, also called as extended delta definition of NFA with epsilon, which is denoted by delta bar or delta cap, which is mapping from Q cross sigma closure to 2 power Q. Here sigma closure includes epsilon. So this definition in NFA also same definition is used. Here sigma closure is nothing but it includes null also by default. Here delta cap of Q comma W will be all states P such that one can go from Q to P along with a path labeled W, perhaps including edges labeled epsilon. Here W contains string. The string can be labeled even without W. That label can be provided using epsilon. That is a transition with empty string or null string. Now, the set of states reachable from a state Q on epsilon can be determined by using a function known as epsilon closure of the state. See, whatever the states, those can be reaching to a particular state or same state with transition as epsilon. That can be denoted as epsilon closure of that particular state. Then coming to properties. The first property here you can see in finite automata, in deterministic finite automata, in non-deterministic finite automata. The first property is delta cap of q naught comma epsilon equal to q naught, whereas in finite automata, deterministic finite automata, non-deterministic finite, same property. But here you can see NFA with epsilon, delta cap of q naught comma epsilon equal to epsilon closure of q naught. That is the difference you have to remember. Now, how to find out epsilon closure of a state? So this is very important. In the entire NFA with epsilon, we will use this notation. Epsilon closure of Q. Q means any state from capital Q can be determined by combining set of states including Q reachable with epsilon symbol. From a state Q with epsilon, what is the next state including the current state with continuous path labeled by epsilon? All the paths in that sequence are included. That is called as epsilon closure of Q. A second property. For a string W in sigma closure and input symbol A in sigma, the property is delta cap of Q naught comma WA equal to epsilon closure of delta cap of Q naught comma W comma A. The inside property is same as in finite automata, DFA and NFA, but here additionally epsilon closure is added. Here also you can see Q naught is same, but prefixed with epsilon closure. That is the difference. In NFA with epsilon, every property we have to prefix with epsilon closure. Final result, again you have to apply epsilon closure of that final result. Then third property, this is union rule. As usual in earlier automatons, however we used it in the same way, this property 3 can be used. So that is defined as delta of P comma W equal to union. Take the states in P, let us assume Q in P, apply delta of Q comma W for each set of states, P subset of Q. For example, let us take P equal to Q naught comma Q1, W equal to A. Then substitute this P in this property. Now this will become delta of Q naught comma Q1 comma A. By applying the union rule, delta of Q naught on A union delta of Q1 on A. Then separately this value and right side value you need to find it. Finally you have to combine. That is the union property. Now let us see how to check whether a given string is accepted or not by the given NFA with epsilon. The process same is used in NFA will be followed here. The condition is, you can see, a string W is accepted by a NFA with epsilon M equal to Q sigma delta Q naught F if delta cap of Q naught comma W equal to P. for some p belongs to f. This is basically the acceptability of a string by the final state. The condition of acceptance of strings and languages for all the automatons what we studied, finite automaton, deterministic finite automaton, non-deterministic finite automaton, and the current one NFA with epsilon. All these, the conditions of acceptance of strings and languages is same. Only the difference. Finding the extended delta value is differ one automaton to another automaton. The final conclusion is same. The condition is same. Even you can see the language acceptance. A language L is accepted by a NFA with epsilon denoted by M equal to Q sigma delta Q naught F is denoted by L of M and is the set of all strings accepted by M. That is L of M equal to X such that delta cap of Q naught comma X is in some F where X is a string and X belongs to L. Same condition we used in other automatons also. Finite automaton, deterministic finite automaton, and non-deterministic finite automaton. Now let us check one example. Acceptance of strings by NFA with epsilon. Consider the NFA with epsilon given below. Check whether the input string 01 and 012 are accepted or not by the given NFA with epsilon. Two strings are given. You need to verify the two strings separately. This is the given NFA with epsilon. How can you say this is NFA with epsilon? See, at least one transition labeled by epsilon, then that is called as NFA with epsilon. Now see how to check the given strings are accepted by the NFA with epsilon or not. For this, what you have to do, the first step, you need to find delta cap of Q naught comma 01 and delta cap of Q naught comma 012. So here this is first string. Then here 012 is the second string. Separately you can find out. Before doing this one, for any problem related to NFA with epsilon, first we have to write all the states epsilon closure values. So that is denoted by delta cap of Q naught comma epsilon equal to, using the property 1, this can be written as epsilon closure of Q naught. That what is epsilon closure of Q naught? How to find out this value? So in the definition of NFA with epsilon, while defining delta, there we mentioned how to find epsilon closure of a state is nothing but by combining all states reachable from the current state, including current state, which can be labeled the transitions as epsilon. Now you can see in the given automaton, now we are finding epsilon closure of Q naught. Starting from Q naught, all states reachable with epsilon, those can be called as epsilon closure of Q naught. Now you can see from state Q naught, see we have started at Q naught, labeled with epsilon. See here epsilon is there. So Q naught, the reaching state is Q1. So therefore you have to include Q1. Then from Q1, again there is a transition labeled with epsilon. It is reaching to Q2. Now you can see your current state is Q0. Q0 to Q1 is one reaching state. Q1 to Q2 is one reaching state. Then in the continuous path, all the states are included. That is Q0, Q1, Q2. This is nothing but epsilon closure of Q0. Similarly, epsilon closure of Q1, which is defined as delta cap of Q1 comma epsilon equal to epsilon closure of Q1. Now you can start with Q1. From Q1, the states reachable with epsilon. Q1 to Q2 with epsilon. So the starting state and end state, where the transitions are labeled by epsilon, both states are included. Therefore, Q1, Q2 is epsilon closure of Q1. See here, we can't take in the reverse direction, only self or forward direction only. But reverse incoming we can't take. Here you can see from Q0 to Q1 it is coming, but Q1 to where it is going, that we can take. Now coming to next step for Q2, epsilon closure of Q2, that can be written as delta cap of Q2 comma epsilon, that is equal to epsilon closure of Q2. Now what is epsilon closure of Q2? From Q2 you don't have any reachable states with transition as epsilon. Therefore the same state itself we can take it as epsilon closure of that state. Here one note, for any state, if you don't have a transition with epsilon closure, then epsilon closure of that state is same state itself. That's why here epsilon closure of Q2 equal to Q2. Now let us come to our string. The first string delta 0, 1. You have to find out its extended value as delta cap of Q0 comma 0, 1. The process is same as NFA. In NFA, what we have done? First, we have taken the leftmost input. Next, we have taken 2 inputs. Next, we have taken 3 inputs, and so on. At the end, we have taken the complete string. The same process is followed here, but here every value that is prefixed with epsilon closure. That is the only difference. Now, epsilon closure of all the states, you need to find out initially. These values you can substitute wherever those are occurred. Now first we start with the first input symbol from the string 0, 1. So delta cap of Q0 comma 0. This can be written as epsilon closure of, inside epsilon closure, this is same as NFA. By using delta, can be written as delta of delta cap of Q0 comma epsilon comma 0. Then what is this value? This value you can substitute from the top where we listed. The delta cap of Q0 comma epsilon equal to epsilon closure of Q0 equal to Q0 Q1 Q2. That value you can substitute here. Therefore epsilon closure of delta of, this is the value, Q0 comma Q1 comma Q2 comma 0. Now apply property 3, the union rule. The epsilon closure continues for each and every step. Epsilon closure of delta of Q0 on 0 union delta of Q1 on 0 union delta of Q2 on 0. Now substitute all these transitions by seeing the given NFA. Now delta of Q0 on 0, in the diagram you can see. So delta of Q0 on 0, it is going to Q0 itself. Union delta of Q1 on 0, Q1 on 0, you don't have transition, so that is 5. Union, then delta of Q2 on 0, Q2 on 0, you don't have transition, therefore it is 5. Now combine all this. Finally, you will get only Q0. Therefore, epsilon closure of Q0. Again, what is epsilon closure of Q0? Here you can see we have written epsilon closure of Q0 equal to Q0 Q1 Q2. That value you can write here. This is the first step value. Then coming to second step, take that first 2 strings. So that is 0, 1. The string contains only 2 symbols. So now you can take the complete string. Now you can see here. Here we have taken 2 symbols from the input. That is delta cap of Q0 comma 0, 1. This can be written as epsilon closure of delta cap of Q0 comma 0 comma 1. So here rightmost 1 is separated. You know this value in the previous step. Delta cap of Q0 comma 0. What is this value? This one, delta cap of Q0 comma 0 equal to Q0 Q1 Q2. Directly you can substitute this value. Now again apply union rule. Now you can see epsilon closure of delta of q0 q1 q2 comma 1. Now apply union rule using property 3. Epsilon closure of delta of q0 comma 1 union delta of q1 comma 1 union delta of q2 comma 1. Substitute these transitions by seeing the given NFA. Now delta of q0 on 1, you don't have transition, that is pi. Union delta of q1 on 1, it is going to q1 itself, so that is q1. Union delta of q2 on 1, you don't have transition, therefore it is pi. Now combine all these, you will get only q1. Therefore epsilon closure of q1. What is epsilon closure of q1? Here we already obtained, that is q1 q2. Therefore q1 q2, this is the final value. Now in this, let us check any final state is there or not. Here q2 is final state, so f equal to q2. Therefore this set contains a final state q2, therefore q2 belongs to f. Then what is the conclusion? The input string 0 1 is accepted by the given NFA with epsilon. The process, everything is same. Here the only difference in NFA with epsilon, we have to prefix with epsilon closure in NFA with epsilon. Let us check the second string in the similar fashion. The string is 0 1 2. The first step, we have to take 0. Delta cap of q0 on 0, you will get q0 q1 q2. Next take two symbols from the given string, that is 0 1. So till second step, this is same as previous problem. Delta cap of q0 comma 0 1. Here rightmost one is separated. This value you know from the previous step. You can substitute, then apply union rule, then substitute the transitions, then finally you will get one state. Then epsilon closure of that state. Here we got epsilon closure of q1, that is equal to q1 comma q2. This is the second step. Then third step, take the entire string. Now here you can see delta cap of q0 comma 0 1 2 equal to epsilon closure of delta cap of q0 comma 0 1 comma 2. Rightmost 2 is separated. You know the value in the previous step 2, that is 0 1. That value you can substitute, that is q1 q2. Epsilon closure of delta of q1 comma q2 on input 2. Apply union rule property 3. Delta of q1 on 2 union delta of q2 on 2. Then substitute these values. Delta of q1 on 2, q1 on input 2, you don't have transition, that is 5. Then q2 on 2, it is going to q2 itself, therefore q2. Finally you will get epsilon closure of q2. Epsilon closure of q2 equal to q2 only. Now here q2 belongs to final state, therefore the string 0 1 2 is accepted by the given NFA with epsilon. So that is acceptance of strings by the given NFA with epsilon. Okay, that's all about the today's lecture, finite atom with epsilon transition. Then coming to summary, what we discussed in this lecture, recall once. First we discussed about what is NFA with epsilon, then what is use of epsilon transition, then the formal notation or mathematical definition of NFA with epsilon, then how to find epsilon closures, then extended delta definition of NFA with epsilon, then acceptance of strings and languages by NFA with epsilon. Next class we will discuss about some more topics related to NFA with epsilon. There we will see how to convert a NFA with epsilon to without epsilon. That means elimination of epsilon moves or epsilon transitions. And another topic, applications of finite automata, followed by the use of NFA in applications. These remaining two topics we are going to cover in the next lecture. Till then, goodbye, happy learning.